Hello everyone, it's Lizzie and welcome to my channel. So today's video's focus is all going to be about Killian Old Fashioned. I did just haul this, so definitely go check out the haul that I recently posted. I will have a link in the description box down below. I'm not really sure why I picked this up. I think I just like Killian fragrances. I love Don't Be Shy, and so whenever I see these kind of small travel sizes, I think that's a great opportunity to try out the scents because they are so expensive. And so I saw this, I picked it up from Cult Beauty, and we're going to try it on camera today. I unfortunately didn't have the chance to try out this fragrance and actually do a full review, but if that's something you're interested in, definitely let me know. But because I haven't had the chance to try this fragrance, I wanted to do a first impressions and just to see how I like the fragrance just off the bat. Obviously I'm not going to be able to talk about longevity and things like that, but like I said, if you want me to do a full review, then definitely let me know and I can definitely film that for you guys. So this is what the packaging looks like. So this is obviously the travel size, so the full size would not look like this. I definitely feel like the full size looks like a whiskey bottle, or like it just looks like a cup of whiskey, actually is what I'm trying to say. It looks like a glass of whiskey. I don't know what it is, and I've got a feeling that it's probably going to smell very boozy. That's just based off of how the packaging looks. I believe their scents are unisex, if I'm not mistaken, but this is just how the travel size looks. Obviously very different to what the actual original bottle looks like because it is a travel size, but this is in 0.25 fluid ounces, and again it's a great opportunity to try out the scents. This is considered an oriental fragrance. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but we'll hopefully find out today. So it was launched in 2024, so it's a relatively new fragrance, and the top notes are wheat and Davana. I have no idea what those notes are. I don't have a fragrance in my collection with those notes, so it'll be interesting to know. I probably have to do a little bit more research on those particular notes. The middle notes are Immortelle and Cedar, and the base notes are Tolu Balsam and Citrax. If you know my channel, you probably know that those are not notes that I typically gravitate towards. So we're going to see if this is something that I will potentially enjoy. But yeah, based off of those notes, it's definitely not a fragrance that I have in my collection, or I don't have anything similar to this. So we'll see. So I'm going to give it a spray on my wrist to see how we like that. Whoa, it's super vinegary. Like, I know not everyone here is from the UK, but fish and chips is a very British cuisine, and that initial spray smelled like vinegar. Like it smelled very, I know vinegar is kind of citrusy, but it smelled like a spicy vinegar. I'm not really sure if that is giving you a rough idea on what this sort of scent is, but the initial note is very vinegary in my opinion, very spicy, very woody, very boozy. This has to be a unisex scent, or if it isn't, I personally feel like anyone could pretty much wear this. So as it's drying down, I feel like I'm starting to smell cinnamon, which I personally love cinnamon. I don't really have any fragrances in my collection that have those kind of nutty, spicy, notes, including oak wood as well. I think that opening threw me off just a little bit because I wasn't expecting that. But you definitely get warmth from the spicy notes. Very, like I said, vinegar, but it's not like a citrusy vinegar. It's more like a spicy vinegar. To be honest, it does give me that whiskey blend. I'm not a whiskey drinker, but I do feel like it gives me that whiskey blend with like woody and spicy notes. It definitely gives more on a luxurious side. I don't feel like I have a fragrance like this, or I definitely don't. Obviously I haven't tried every fragrance out there, but it definitely, to me, is unique to my collection, which makes this super interesting. I think as it's drying down, I'm still smelling the cinnamon, but I'm starting to smell a little bit of tonka bean and hazelnut, which is really interesting. I actually feel this is a great fragrance for the season that we're in, winter, Christmas. Like, this is the type of scents that you would want to wear. you get the warmth and nuttiness from the hazelnut, but then you also get the spicy notes as well, which I think is a great kind of yin and yang. It's a really great balance as well. Super interesting, and not like a fragrance that I have in my collection. So I'm pleasantly surprised, actually. I'm definitely pleasantly surprised. As it's fully dried down, you can definitely smell the sweetness, and I love it. I think the dry down is actually what I prefer the most. The opening scared me just a little bit, but the dry down I think is what I absolutely love. I think there's slight smoky from the woodiness, but you're starting to get some sweet notes. I'm not exactly sure what those notes are, because based off the notes I mentioned, I am not very familiar, in all honesty, with those notes. I definitely have to do a bit of research, and I may have something on the screen here to kind of explain those notes further, but I definitely prefer the dry down, and I think it's because the dry down is sweet. And again, it's not sickly sweet, it's not a gourmand sweet, it's definitely a sophisticated sweet. Very warm, but also very rich as well. It has so much depth to it, and I'm pleasantly surprised. I feel like I'm starting to get oudiness from it. I love a oud. I absolutely love a oud. I don't show enough oud fragrances on my channel, and that's because the oud fragrances that I do own, I purchased like in Dubai. So you're probably unlikely to be able to purchase it. So I don't want to be able to, you know, advertise something if it's not easily accessible to everyone. But I love a oud. I do love a oud, and I love oud around this time of the year, and I feel like I'm starting to get kind of oudy notes coming through, which I really do enjoy. It's a super dynamic fragrance. It's taken me from like spicy, vinegary, then it's gone a bit smoky, and then I'm starting to get sweetness as well, but also spice too. So it's definitely a fragrance that has loads of different dimensions, which I really do enjoy. It's so easy for fragrances to just be flat. You spray it and it's sort of like, okay, this is a sweet scent and it's going to stay a sweet scent. Whereas this has gone through so many different layers, which I absolutely love. So I'm definitely interested to see if this is something that's going to last on the skin and on the clothes. Be interesting to wonder how the sillage is and how it projects. But off the back, I'm pleasantly surprised. I wasn't too sure about this scent because the notes got me a bit nervous, but this is your sign to delve into a different territory. If you are used to a specific scent type, this is the time to kind of change it up, switch it up a bit, see what you like, see what you don't like, you know, and see if it's something that you would enjoy. So overall, so far, I pleasantly am surprised with this fragrance. I feel like I'm stepping into an upscale bar. The opening is spicy, it feels boozy. I feel like I can smell a bit of vinegar in there, but then as it settles down, you start to smell sweeter notes. You start to smell the tonka bean and the hazelnut. It just smells rich, it smells warm, it smells like winter essentially. And so I'm pleasantly surprised. I think the amber and the oak again are really prominent in the dry down too, and I think it's going to be a fragrance that I will enjoy, a fragrance that's going to be different to other scents that I have. You know, sometimes you just have to, you know, switch it up, but I'm pleasantly surprised. I do really like this. So would I recommend, based on this first impression, if you like rich, warm, boozy fragrances, then this is definitely something that you would enjoy. I would definitely recommend this if, like I mentioned, some of the notes are very different to what I would usually gravitate towards, but I would definitely recommend trying something new. I feel like, you know, 2025 is coming up. This is the season to kind of step into new things, new scent spaces, and I'm so happy that I picked this up actually, because it's definitely very interesting, definitely whiskey inspired, and definitely a must try as well. I'm pleasantly surprised. So this is why you don't judge a book by its cover. You don't judge a book by its cover. And so Killian Old Fashioned, I definitely think is one to watch out. I am going to try this fragrance out a little bit more so that I can sort of speak on things such as the longevity and the sillage. But based off of this first impression, I do like it. I love it. I love the dry down. I think it's beautiful. Let me know in the comments if this is a fragrance that you've tried, if you've loved it, if you've hated it, if you've layered it with other fragrances. I don't think this is a fragrance that is layerable. I don't think it's a fragrance that I would layer with other fragrances because it's so rich and deep, and just I feel like it stands alone. It doesn't need another fragrance to support it. So definitely a fragrance that I would try out on its own. But yeah, I love it so far. So I'm definitely going to keep you guys posted. Hopefully I can do a full review if you're interested, and perhaps do a comparison with Love Don't Be Shy, or I think Good Girl Gone Bad. I think that's what it's called. I've also tried that fragrance as well. So we're interested to do a comparison between the 3 Kilians that I currently do have. But that's all for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments if you've tried this fragrance, if you love it, hate it. Let me know your thoughts. But I hope you all have an amazing day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.